Good to go. All right, we will call the, what's the date today? Oh, God. November 10th meeting of the Swampscott Planning Board to order. First on the agenda is approval of past minutes. Chris had just had a chance to compile these and give this to us, so I think we should punt these to next month. If that works for everyone?
Agreed. Yes.
All right, we'll punt that to next month. So Chris, let's just make sure to add that to our December agenda.
Yes.
And then we'll take the next item, a little out of order just for a moment. Call petition 25-20, 55 Puritan Road by Peter Solaris. I am recused from this due to being a budding property owner. So with that, I will hand it over to the rest of the board to elect a temporary chairman.
I can make a motion I can elect to elect Bill as temporary chair. Can I have a second?
Second.
Can't second it. Sure.
Okay,
Aye.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so 2520, 55 Puritan Road.
Correct.
Right.
Someone here to speak on that?
Well, excuse me, Bill, but I think we're actually going to, I don't mean to jump in, but I think what we're trying to do is, because we don't have a quorum, I mean, we have a quorum, but we don't have a supermajority. So we cannot vote on any special permits without a supermajority. And because Ted has to recuse himself, it's only the three of us.
Right.
So the idea was that we would continue this without prejudice, of course, to hopefully a meeting that will be scheduled in the very near future, perhaps next week.
Next week. Okay. Okay.
So,
Thank you, Angela. So just to be clear, are you the petitioners?
Yes,
Okay. Were you aware of this? Or?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we were told
Okay.
no,
So
Monday.
I'd take a motion then to
So I would move to continue this without prejudice to a November 17th meeting, a week from tonight, 7 o'clock, same location?
second. Second.
Okay, we'll take a roll call vote because we're online. I'm Bill Quinn, aye. Chair?
Aye.
Angela?
Angela Ippolito, aye.
Okay, thanks.
right.
With that, we'll bring Citizen Dooley back to his chairmanship.
Turn him into.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Do we?
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you. Okay,
Thank you for indulging me on that.
thank you,
Thank you. We'll see you next month.
thank you.
Okay, up next we have petition 25-19 for 15 Manson Street. Is there anyone here to speak on behalf of the petitioner?
Yeah, my name's
All right.
John Andrews. We're with JFA Design Group. And, yeah, so I can just get started?
Yep.
All right, great. So what we have is an ADU project here, going on the, as you can see through some of the pictures here, this will be going onto the right side of the home. Okay. And it is within the 900 square feet. The existing home, of course, is over that, and half of that will be the 900 square feet. It'll be a single story. It meets all the setback requirements, the front, the side, of course, the rear, and also the height requirement. We do have a landscape plan here labeled L1, very basic landscape plan. We're showing where we would like to put in a driveway. And the driveway's coming off the existing driveway, not off the street. Also, in the landscape plan, you can see we have just some very basic exterior residential lighting just around the door. And at the back of the building, there is an alcove back there, which is a small courtyard. So there'll be some existing lighting there. And as you can look by the plans, there will be a French door out to that area. Okay, what else can I say? Oh, also, there's a few walkways here, just one walkway coming off of the existing driveway, and that'll be for the front entrance of this proposed ADU. And like I mentioned, there's also an area in the back to get in. Let's see what we can do. So you can take a look at EX1, which shows the existing front elevation, and then, of course, A1 continues on to what it will look like ultimately. And also A2 is the side elevation. It shows you the reflection onto the existing house and roof line. I want to check to the floor plans. This is built on a crawl space, not on a full foundation. That's shown in A4. And then, of course, you can see through the floor plans A5. A 6 roof plan, and then finally, the pictures on the back show an overhead view in sort of, not to detail, that's on the plot plan. It shows a marking exactly where this addition will happen. Yeah. We also have here a community letter signed by a few of the abutters, 11 Mason, 19, and 12 Mason. 11 Mason, 19 Mason, and 12. Yep. We had last time, there was an issue with the address. All that's been cleared up. You can see on the plot plan. That's it. We're ready to take any questions.
Do you have were you able to submit a copy of that, your neighbor's support to Krista?
Yep.
Okay, it's in the folder, great, thank you.
We have some more copies here, too, if you'd like to
And
see
it's
them.
11, 12, and 19?
Yeah.
Perfect, okay. Couple of questions. The Chair, I'm looking to you because I know you would probably know this off the back of your hand. What's the legal definition of a bedroom? Is a certain square footage plus bath plus closet?
I do not know it off of the,
I didn't mean to set you up there.
yeah, thank you, man.
90 square feet or something, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I don't have a, what are the dimensions on the
Yeah, the office.
office
and
den
bedroom.
bedroom?
Oh, the office den bedroom
Yeah,
is 8 by 10. These plans did go to the building inspector
Okay.
before they came here. We went over with them. And, yeah, he said everything was fine as far as that goes.
okay,
And that office den there, too, is mainly going to probably be just an office. We do have the closet in there, and then we do have access to an entry into the bathroom.
got it, okay.
So you said there is a closet in there? Sorry.
Yes, there is.
Okay.
So the reason why I asked that is because we have a I&I fee, infiltration and inflow fee, inflow and infiltration fee. So I just want to make sure we're calculating the right fee for you guys as part of our decision. I know the building inspector will do his due diligence.
Oh, I
and do the
understand.
same.
Sure.
That's why that distinction is,
Yeah, no, that's fine.
okay. Is there any, you mentioned there's a courtyard here. I see the labeled patio between the
Yes, that's a
ADU.
patio to the rear.
Is there going to be any stonework, deck, anything like that?
There'll be stone pavers?
Pavers, okay.
Yep.
Impermeable pavers?
Yes,
assuming?
exactly.
I don't see the calculation on here, but I'd be very surprised if you're in excess of your permeable lot coverage.
That's what the
Permeable lot
surveyor was
coverage.
saying,
Okay.
the
You're
engineers.
not near it.
Yeah, I can't imagine it'd be close.
Yeah.
The yard is large, yeah.
Yeah,
Are you adding any landscaping?
No, just the walkway area in that rear paver area. No, we're not adding any other than that.
No trees, no shrubs, nothing
No
like
trees,
that?
no shrubs at this time. No.
Okay.
John, I have a couple quick questions. On page A4, it's labeled as a proposed basement plan. We do have a small basement, a small section of the house that's showing this basement. And the crawl space in the rear, the crawl space is in two sections, and the rear one appears to have windows, but they don't show on elevation. Are those windows or vents? And if
Yeah, those will basically be vents just by the building code.
Okay.
That's it, yep.
The front section doesn't require vents?
And we just put them onto the rear section because in the front crawl space there, they're actually talking about bringing that only 2 feet down. It might not go the full feet down, meaning where the slab is, not meaning in the perimeter. Yep.
So you would have, that'd have a slab in it? but you-
Yeah, that would, right, so it only
Yeah.
goes down 2 feet, but the perimeter, of course, all goes around 4 feet.
But the crawl space back here is 4 feet deep?
Yeah, we'd like that to be 4 feet. That's why we put the windows back in there.
Okay.
Yep.
I might suggest making sure there's some ventilation in that front section, so you don't
Sure.
have moisture damage to the under.
Yeah, so adding a window in there is, yeah, I'll make that note.
Just, and this is another, just in looking at plans, you know the trouble I make.
Sure.
Yes, because I always look at plans. Just in that office den bedroom, I'm gonna point out that the door will cover the window when it's open,
Yep.
so that you
Swing
wouldn't
that
have
in.
any light if the door is open. So you
Okay.
might look at that door swing and see if you, if that's the only light source, light and ventilation source,
Yeah,
I would look at that door carefully and see if that's the right location for it.
awesome. I'll mark that in here.
I'm a little bit confused on the driveway location. I'm trying to get my head around it. The street layout is quite interesting, that it's an absolute
It is.
90-degree turn. And, oh,
Are you looking, yeah,
So that telephone pole is
Right.
not in the middle of the street. It's just that, like,
Okay, I know what you're talking about, right.
that there's no curb line though, is there?
No, there's no curb up there either.
Okay,
So
so
the-
it's just sort of free flow blacktop.
It is, and
Okay.
yeah, right.
Now I can see, it just,
Yeah, it's a little bit confusing.
yeah, no,
Definitely.
it's a lot confusing. But that's how we do sidewalks in Swampscott, is do not see it's a curb.
Yeah.
Yeah, keeps our school-aged children population down, I guess. Okay, so the driveway is, because I noticed the note that the driveway is coming off of the driveway.
Yeah, off of the existing.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. All right.
Oh, I see, yeah. It is confusing. the way
Yeah,
that-
it's an interesting
Like from
lot
kind
shape.
of, yeah, goes down, yeah.
Is it raised up? Is that what that darker curve is? Is that like the raised curb?
No, I think that's a water stain on the road. It looks like it's a straight line here.
Yeah,
Not really.
got a car on the
It's-
sidewalk.
I think
diagonal.
if you look at that picture, just in front of
Bill.
that,
Are you talking about if I'm facing the house, you're talking about towards the left of the house?
yeah.
Bill,
Oh,
this-
they must have done water line work. That's fresher
Oh,
fresher blacktop. It shows in this picture really.
No, that actually is water.
It's just that it's everywhere.
wow.
Sorry, Angela, we're showing the Google Street view.
That's okay, I actually pulled up the plans myself, so I have it in front of me, I get the picture.
So it is
So to
quite
speak.
honestly this
Yeah.
rectangle, except
Yeah, so
Oh,
the
wait a
rectangle,
second, this
is in the cars parked. Is it on
there's
the-
the lot line. This dashed line is the driveways. So there's a telephone pole in the middle of the street.
Right
I
there.
think it's supposed to be in the sidewalk, or like
No,
out
so
by the
that-
curb.
I think that's a
Right.
sidewalk. Like, that's,
Well, it's square though. That is literally a water stain. So the sidewalk would come like this, right through here. But it's interesting because they're showing, here's the street here.
this street, or this property line?
That's a property line. It looks like, I don't understand that. But any way that it goes, what's proposed here, if we're looking at,
There's a top,
yeah, if we go to
top view down at the picture
L1,
help.
I'm really baffled by this.
Do you, at the back of the package, there's some pictures there of an overhead view looking down.
Yeah.
Does that help?
It does, except that it's when I'm looking at this other plan that it gets really confused.
Here's the edge of the pavement here.
What about the plot plan?
Yeah, here's this, it's not this dark one, it's this that is following that. But I guess that on this plot plan, they're showing the sidewalk. It's just interesting. Usually a sidewalk is a right-of-way on property. And in
Right.
this case, Angela, when you're looking at this, do you see that this, it appears that in these plot plans, the sidewalk is somehow incorporated into the street. There is
Right.
there is no curb, and the telephone pole is basically in the middle of the
Right, in the middle of
town-owned
the street.
street.
When I look at it from Google Maps, for example, I'm looking down at it and, that same, water stain or whatever it might be is there. But it looks like there's a sidewalk in front of, the house next to it, so 19. There's where their property line is, they seem to have a fence.
I think it's a
So
retaining wall. Is there a small retaining wall in
Yeah.
front of the name?
Yeah, stone wall.
Okay.
Here,
Like,
right
Okay.
here.
No, right there. It's
So
sort of
that,
L-shaped,
and
yeah.
then- Right, and then that seems to extend over to 15, and then once you get past 15's driveway, it seems like, the next house, says Shoreline Landscapes, whatever, that next house, when you, I guess you turn onto Valley Road, it's a different
Yep.
street, is that right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so there's, and then the sidewalk is gone.
Yeah, it's sort of it's
That one light pole or telephone pole, whatever it is that we're looking at is on that, one kind of paved,
Area.
berm like sidewalk, yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying, yeah.
and that's the city limits, right?
Yeah.
Your neighbor's City of Lynn?
Yeah.
So that's probably adding to the
Lynn is in
difference.
Valley Road, like.
Yeah, might not throw something else in there or confuse it a little more.
Exactly.
all right. And I'm looking at these dashes. EP electric. No, what is this? Here.
But what are you looking at now, Jer?
Edge of, I guess EP is edge of pavement.
Oh, I see.
So I think it's just that it's been paved with
Yeah.
no curbing
Right.
and no elevation shift from road
There's no
to
granite curbing,
sidewalk.
right, it's just that, yeah. It's
Yeah,
just that, a bunch of, hot top with a berm on it, basically, or sort of, just,
Yeah.
that's it.
utility pole. Oh, here's the utility pole.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Utility poles here.
right,
So you're saying this line goes straight across to the edge of the
yeah,
driveway?
pretty
so
much.
This property line goes up,
I think that one keeps going straight.
and this is Lynn or this is
That
Lynn?
you guys introduced, right?
This is
Right
Swampscott.
here.
This is Lynn.
The,
Um,
soil.
Right. So this isn't your land.
I see, that's weird.
Yep.
Yeah. We're not struggling with your drawing, we're struggling with.
Yeah, no, I'm looking down at it, and I didn't know if,
This one actually,
like-
this line, this intersection,
Yeah, it's odd.
is somewhere here.
right,
This one goes.
Yeah,
here, and then
exactly.
goes down.
yeah, yeah.
So the driveway that you're proposing is basically heading straight into,
It's just to
Like to
the
the
left
bay
of the
window.
garage, yeah. Right over near the bay window.
It's funny how it looks on this drawing though. It's,
I'll show them these pictures.
yeah, I can see, it's confusing, well, the way that the lot lines are drawn and then
So
the,
this is still our, this is our, that's why I put the driveway here.
Yeah.
so I'm slightly confused.
I don't think this is the best drawing to look at regarding, I mean, I'm a little confused with this drawing, I have to tell you that. Okay, so there's the street, and where's the town line exactly?
Right up. It's right there.
Yeah. Sir,
Okay, so,
do you want me to help?
Oh, yeah,
Yes, please do.
absolutely.
And show them when this was here.
Yep.
Yeah. Can I go to that screen, sir?
Sure.
The TV.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
By the way, I'm Jim Johnson, and my wife, we own the 15 Manson Street.
Nice to see you.
Thank you.
So, so is it better here or?
Just take the microphone
Yeah.
for, if you could.
Hello?
Thank you.
Oh, nice. Maybe here. Thank you. So, this point, actually, I hope this will help to begin with, is actually if you project this all the way to the behind of this white car,
Okay.
the point is right there. So this line is this line.
Very well.
And then from here, right there, what that point is, somewhere here, towards there,
Is the town line?
where's, this is my neighbor's property already. So from that point to this point, we are looking at this point to about this point.
Okay.
So our lot is actually this, up to there, and then back.
Right.
Like,
okay.
this is the town corner, this is very sharp,
ah,
and then we just, so this is it. So this used to be like all soil, so the town only put this road, and then this is all soil, like, so we decided to put asphalt there because a lot of people are complaining of falling on the road. Sometimes the mailman, the delivery, FedEx, all those sorts of, who access this road. So the three of us, actually, this neighbor, Marcus, which is 19, Peter Carunos, who is 12, Manson, and this is 11. So the three of us just put money in together and we asphalted this part.
Okay.
And then, we avoided those complaints of people falling on the road, especially the USPS people, FedEx, USPS. So, that's why it looks confusing. Sorry about that. So, again, this line up to this point to there is this line.
Not your street. Property line.
Okay.
Yeah. So the
So
street
this-
is actually just this.
So the sidewalk, or what we're thinking a sidewalk, is actually on their property.
Right.
Right. So that's where a sidewalk would be. So you pave the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why the
So-
post ended up in the middle of the road.
The property line almost reflects the curve of the
Yeah,
road,
but yeah.
Okay. So this thing here
a wet mark.
is. So this is your lot line. I still don't understand why they're calling that out. But,
Yes.
but you didn't. That's sort of a right, not a right of way. An easement.
So can you
On
borrow
the
this
sidewalk?
pen?
Yeah.
Can you borrow this?
Absolutely.
Private property?
So I'll try to copy this profile, which is, so this is the start of this point.
Mm-hmm.
So that point is this.
And then to here
And
is.
then to here is somewhere behind this car.
a straight
I
line
actually
across
have a
there.
nail there with a blue tape.
Perfect.
Just to know where
Yep,
where
where
the
you're-
property is.
That's, we
And
just didn't
then-
zoom in far
Which
enough.
is this one, sir. this. And then this one goes that point is somewhere.
Angela, Jared will translate for us in a moment.
Yeah, and
Okay.
So
That's-
it's
yeah,
about
it
here.
hard
looks like
following.
if you
It's
drew,
gonna fall, but
Drew
it's not
straight.
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there, yeah.
okay, so your lot is doing
That one.
this.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, now, you see this
right,
shape now?
so
is
in
not-
reality, though, the driveway
It's in
is,
our property.
It's on your property. Yeah, it
Yeah,
comes
but
off of
this
the
is still
existing.
ours, this point, yes. Sir.
but I guess my question is, this mark here is not your property line?
This is our property line.
Right.
Which is this one.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And this is, but this is I don't have an issue with the unless there's a reason
Yeah.
that, but this appears, the way this is showing, that the driveway is coming off of the town. The town was paving a narrower street,
Sure, yeah.
and so you folks paid to pave town land
Yes.
according to this.
Yes, sir.
And then this driveway, your driveway really is this.
Yes.
And you're coming here, so this is coming off of town land, this is coming off of town land here.
Yes.
And this is just what the town didn't pave, that you folks paved in,
Yeah.
and then it's public parking.
Yes, it's also
Okay.
public parking, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that shape is that clear? Did I help that?
You did
Definitely,
help,
yes.
yes, thank you, I appreciate that.
All right, no problem.
That there.
Angela will have a photo for you in just a sec.
Okay,
For Angela, so.
That'd be great.
but I think I know where he's going with it,
Yeah.
I'd like the description would be helpful.
Thank you. Yeah.
So the one thing that is a little bit confusing is that the sketch on the overhead photograph,
Can I see this?
the curves basically are different than, like,
Oh, the curb on the landscape?
well, the curve on the landscape and the curve of the driveway is different than what's on the landscape plan. The
Okay.
landscape plan has, well, it sort of doesn't have how it's terminating at the corner,
Triangle there.
at the triangle, but it also sort of feels like it could be simplified and easier to use
Oh, yeah.
by utilizing the,
By coming off of the street.
yeah, is there any issue with a separate driveway coming off the street? There's no curbs to cut.
I don't think there is.
Is it coming off the street or is it really coming off, their driveway? That's what,
Well,
it looks like it's coming off the street, but it's.
well, the
I
thing
guess
is,
it It's really not, I see what you're saying.
yeah,
Never mind, I see
that
what you're
area
saying.
that is
Yeah,
between.
the corner is not the driveway, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Because of how the town paved the road, their original driveway, and you can sort of see in the overhead photograph that before the neighbors got together and paved the dirt area, there was a section of their driveway that was on town land, just in order to
Right.
get back to your lot line.
Yeah.
Right.
And it probably ended up, did you build your house, or are you the second owners?
We bought it brand new.
You bought it
First
brand new?
is
So
built.
probably when it was built, they just paved out to the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
And that was just bonus land. So in looking at that, I think what you have sketched on the photograph is more logical, because I think this becomes very difficult, and I think it would be good to take advantage of that little piece of driveway, because you wouldn't necessarily, the cars would be in the way in
Right.
the other one.
Right.
So it would,
So is what's sketched in the photograph less of a run than what the overhead is showing?
I'm gonna show you what's basically sketched in the overhead. and then this. So the blue here is what's on this landscape plan.
Yeah.
But the driveway didn't have an end to it, it just had a straight piece. So you would have been up, like keeping in mind, this is where the telephone pole is. You'd be coming around the telephone, turning left,
Yeah,
turning
zigzag.
right, and in, where this would allow you to utilize that strange little corner of your lot
Yeah.
to your benefit, to be able to drive
Right.
into it.
Sure,
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
Almost.
yeah.
So this driveway, you would basically come straight parallel to the front
Like
of,
increase that angle slightly so it's a straight drive-in.
yeah,
Good.
pretty, well, straight and then immediate turn.
More of a straight
Um,
drive than.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that.
yeah, and then you would
Okay.
pull this out straight, so you didn't end up with too much blacktop out there. Or you could, and you
Now,
could.
that little piece, yeah, that little patch that should
Yeah,
stay.
and you might actually, instead of, like, right now, you've got sort of a curve and a corner, it might make sense for that to be around
Right,
Boulevard, so you don't have a sharp thing to be hitting a tire with, et cetera.
right, and then just go in there, and then that odd angle, yeah.
So it would,
So open up that radius a bit and then make it more,
and I think that would allow, so in other words, if this was a round end, you wouldn't have a sharp place there to be hitting.
Oh, just
Yeah, yeah.
around.
Right, just-
Yeah.
oh, yeah,
Right,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
good.
It looks more, a lot better from top view.
Yeah.
well, I'm good at hitting curves, I like them to be round instead of angular.
well, better on your tires, actually.
Better on your
Yeah,
tires.
makes sense, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you so
I don't know if there's a
Okay.
curve there or not, but otherwise you're driving on grass too.
much.
All right, so I think I understand that.
Couple other questions for you.
Sure.
In the overhead picture that we have of the plot, there's a white outline in the back corner of the lot, white rectangle. Is that just the relocation of the shed?
Yes,
Okay.
Yep.
yes,
Oh,
yes. that
I
one.
have to
Oh, which-
step away for.
Oh, way in
yeah.
the back, yeah,
Yeah.
that is, yep,
That is the shed.
yeah, because that shed, right, that's the existing shed that was moved.
It'll just move over? Okay.
Yeah,
And the setbacks on that,
Setback is 10 feet from my neighbor's,
Okay.
I can get
I've got it, thank you.
The
10 feet.
ADU, is there gonna be, do you have separate heat pump, compressor, air handlers,
Yep.
anything? And where? is that-
it'll be in that back one, if you look in that landscape plan, there'll be an HVAC unit in
Oh, I
that
see it's
corner
labeled there in the
You know what I
patio
mean?
area.
Yeah, it's sort of hidden in that alcove there.
Okay, so nobody's gonna see that except for you guys.
Lovely, thank you.
Yep, okay.
It's town water, water is by well up here in these properties. Yeah.
How's Swampscott well water?
It's good.
Is it good?
Well, we have
We have installed
courtesy of my husband first class water treatment.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
cool house filter, yeah.
Good.
I don't think you can make better coffee than with well water. Because there's no chlorine in it. and
Yeah.
It's,
Oh.
it
Think of
makes
that.
all the difference in the world, so enjoy, I hope you like coffee.
Oh, yeah, I love her. She makes it for me.
Just what,
I'm sorry, I'm back.
no problem. While I have the thought in front of me, I'm gonna open up to public comment, just in case any members of the public wish to make a comment on this petition. They can do so by raising their hand on the Zoom feature,
Oh, okay.
or Teams, whatever we're using. All right, seeing none, close public comment on this petition. I'm just pulling up our criteria for site plan approval here, just to refresh any last minute questions.
I do have a couple other really quick questions.
Go for it, please dive in.
I still don't think there would be any issue with the lot coverage, because you've got a sizable lot.
Right,
I am looking at like there's, on A5,
Yeah.
patio proposal comes back to the rear of the main section of the existing house, and it's sort of an L-shaped.
Oh, you mean this dash line that's at the very back?
Is that what that is?
Yeah, yeah, that dash line back there is, they were contemplating doing some fencing, but as of right now,
Oh, okay.
just be, yeah, that would just be, they were thinking about doing some fencing there and sort of this walkway back to that ADU unit. What we show on the landscape plan is how big we're really gonna make that courtyard.
So is there an entrance into the main house from there?
From,
That little,
oh,
it looks like there's a door or something there, maybe I.
Because there's a door off the bedroom.
there's a French door, a glass door off the bedroom.
Okay, oh, the
3
ADU
foot.
or the house?
It's from the ADU,
Okay,
yeah,
This is one off the bedroom and then one next to the kitchen.
yes.
Those are the two
Okay.
exterior doors. And are the pavers going to extend from the patio to that?
Yeah, so the
Bedroom
pave
door.
is, oh, you mean the whole rear?
Yeah. It-
No, the pavers will just do where that alcove is.
Okay.
Jared just mentioned, did it go to the end of the house, of the existing house? No, it didn't. It stops right where the ADU stops. in the
Oh,
back.
okay.
Yeah, and that's what a cavity.
Because it's showing on a few different drawings, and I was.
Is it showing on the floor plans different?
It shows on the overhead images.
Right.
That were made here, and it shows on
Oh, I see.
the only place that it shows L1 is to supersede all those other ones.
Yes, please.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Okay, because I was just gonna comment with, I was noticing in the photographs, the stairs coming out of the sunroom, and just thinking there might be some logic in,
Yep.
having some relationship. Oh, you've got a lot of patio space on the other side of the house.
Yep.
Yeah, but I was just thinking you've got stairs down into the yard that
Oh, I see.
you could definitely link over to that, but I still don't have any concern about lot coverage.
Okay.
no, neither do I.
Yeah.
In terms of utilities, all the utilities are shared, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And Angela, we discussed it while you were away. It's well water?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sorry about that.
No,
No,
no
that's
problem at
okay.
all. I mean, any other questions
yeah.
from the board?
I guess I was just thinking about, in terms of drainage, and with the two driveways together, I can't really, tell the slope too well, but I can see a little bit from this drawing. At any rate, what I was thinking was, is there any kind of drain in the street? So like when there's runoff from, snow and rain and so forth.
What we were hoping to do is, there is gonna be a gutter system on this roof, on this existing roof, and the way it's facing towards the front, and then we were going to run our drain along the exterior. And then there'll be a
Oh,
French
okay.
drain running back, and then it'd
the
be
end of
back
it.
to a dry well. They wanted to try to eliminate,
Okay.
like you mentioned, any water going towards the front. I mean, obviously, you
Yeah.
get some of it, but they want to get it out of there because of the ice and stuff eventually.
Right, that's what I was gonna say, a lot of those roads up there don't have, like sewer openings, if you
Right.
will, or storm drain openings, so, well, they have sewers, but they don't have storm drain openings, so their runoff can tend to collect and, because you're just, there's more pervious area without the ADU and, impervious, sorry, with the ADU and the driveway expansion, I was just a little concerned about that, so that's good to hear, thank you.
No, it's a great question. It is.
all of the lighting, Swampscott, we like to be dark sky compliant. We don't like it, it's in the bylaws to be dark sky compliant.
Yes.
Just want to make sure that's mentioned.
Yep.
Just shield it over the top so it directs the light down.
Yep.
All the exterior lighting.
And also anything we were talking about, any conditions that you guys like to add to it, that's fine. Follow them, of course, you know, to get a vote for tonight.
So where it's attached to the house, or is it simply attached, or is there gonna be any connection between the two units, or it's completely separate?
It's going to be a connection between, it's connected at the garage level.
Oh, through the garage?
Yeah, so there's through the garage, there's a door, so there's an immediate
Oh,
egress
got
into
it.
the main garage, which would be into the main house, because after you get into the garage, then you can get over to the main home. And then, of course, the other 3 openings.
Got it.
Okay,
Yeah. You know, it's one, yeah, it's shown there in the floor plan
Okay,
A5.
got it.
Yeah. Of course, that's fire-rated door and all this other good stuff.
okay. Okay,
So there's a few things that are missing here still on these drawings.
Okay.
Look at A2. And if you can tell us what the plan is, so if I'm looking at the proposed right side elevation, I'm looking at the window that's in the rear bedroom.
yeah.
There's a door adjacent to that, that on A3 is showing steps starting at the height of the door. So I'm assuming that's at least a 36-inch slab, and then steps down?
Yeah, in talking with the builder, there was a couple of concerns. With the land there, and when they started digging up, there could be cases of ledge there,
Okay.
you know, which could alter a few things. So, yes, there is that inconsistency there, but we're just saying that this could be raised up out of grade as far as the foundation go, more than the minimum 1 foot. It could be 1 foot 6 inches, and then, in that case, then we would have a few stairs down.
Okay.
You know, we're
There's,
gonna-
any way it goes, there's gonna be a 3-foot landing out there, either a
Exactly.
single step.
Exactly,
So,
yes.
I think that needs to show up in that elevation.
Sure.
There is a door, that's sort of a ghost door hanging there.
Yep.
That in the photographs,
Is that off the
there's,
sunroom?
no. Yeah, that's off the sunroof, but that door is on the back of the house.
Which
Just-
one is that one?
A2?
A2, there would be
Oh,
a
this one
door,
here.
and then, and
Yeah.
the photographs are showing
The door at the
a
end.
door and 3 windows, yeah, so that door, I just don't
got it.
want the builder
Nope.
confused, that should be cleaned
Sure.
up. And then the other question that I have for you is, I'm looking at the way the bays are protruding at the front.
Yep.
My assumption is that that door that's into the living room is the main door into the unit. And that the intent is, that's the entrance.
Yes.
Yeah,
That is also not shown with any sort of steps, and the way the driveway is drawn, that information is gonna be sort of important, because right now the driveway terminates into that box bay.
Yep. Part of it, yes.
I think there would be logic in that actually not, like, stopping short of that, but then calculating out, because it's showing sort of patio space there. But the other thing that, just as homeowners, I'd be cautious of, is a door that doesn't have any coverage over it is very unpleasant to use. I don't know, is this for relatives?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, it's
because
family.
our family's expanding.
Uh-huh.
it looks like it's covered, but I can't tell, that like.
Yeah, in the front
just
elevation-
outside.
Yeah, in the front elevation, it's shown as covered, but the front elevation doesn't match the actual.
I see, yeah.
There's a couple different things that are shown, and it's very hard to figure out which is which. So if I look at L1, it looks like, oh, I'm sorry. If I look at L1, I was looking at the neighbor's house, I see the patio there. If I look at A1, there appears to be a covered porch in that it's niched inward. But then when I look at A2, there's not really a patio, a step, or a clear idea of where the door is.
Oh, I see what you're
So
saying.
that when I go and I look at the plan, there's a patio sort of niched in, but that's not,
That's gonna be, right, that won't be a roof overhead there, and that
Right.
patio. That'll be flush back.
okay, so
The other
then-
one's a trim
and then there
board
would be
coming out.
there would be another step in there.
Yes.
And then when I looked at the L1, it sort of appeared that you were entering onto, L1 flattened the front, it removed the bay on both parts of that.
Yeah,
Just take a look.
And then there, it is showing sort of access to that off the side. So these need to be in agreement.
Yep. That's fine. I will say that both of the bump outs
Yeah.
don't have a foundation under them. They are overhangs. So there's no foundation. So maybe it's, because if you can notice in the plot plan, it's just a straight line going across.
So there's going to be, like, thinking through what that means at that front door, because it's sort of gonna be complicated, because you've got something that needs to be coming up to either a small step out, down 7 inches, or
Yeah.
flush. And then you don't have foundation next to it, but that would be important to sort of plan for.
Sure.
My recommendation would be to probably give yourself a decent landing there, and then think about probably some sort of path to it, because the way this is drawn, there's not space to enter that on the,
Right, I see what you're saying.
on the
Yeah.
left.
Yeah.
And I think there would be some logic in some planting area in front of that bay. Very often when there's a wing off of a house and a driveway goes straight up to it, it's where the garage used to be. And so
Right.
you'll want to get that planted so this secondary driveway looks intentional instead of looking like, you're closed in a garage. So I think that'll help that. So pulling that out, and getting a sidewalk off of that driveway would make some, I think that would clean that up a little bit.
Yes, I would. Okay.
Good, all right. Okay.
Any other comments or questions from the board?
No,
Bill?
I think we've answered everything, but do we need to run through the checklist really quick?
Yes, I'm planning to do that. Jared, before I do that, I know you're still working through some of the drawings.
No.
Okay. Yes, we'll go through 5480, just conditions for approval, criteria for approval. Minimize the volume of cut and fill, number of removed trees 6-inch caliber or larger, the length of removed stone walls, area of wetland vegetation displaced, extent of stormwater flow increase from the site, soil erosion, threat of air and water pollution. Are there any trees being removed for the construction of this? No? Okay. I think we answered the rest of that with the water outflow drainage system that we discussed. Maximize pedestrian and vehicular safety both on the site and egressing from it. We discussed that at length. Minimize obstruction of scenic views from publicly accessible locations. I think that's really applicable. Minimize visual intrusion by controlling the visibility of parking, storage, and other outdoor service areas viewed from public ways or premises residentially used or zoned. We discussed that with the using of the garage. Minimize glare from headlights and lighting intrusions. I think we discussed that with the driveway conversation. Minimize unreasonable departure from the character, material, scale of buildings in the vicinity as viewed from public ways and places. The renderings show the materiality continues and matches some of the existing home and the homes adjacent to it. Minimize contamination of groundwater from on-site wastewater disposal systems or operations on the premise involving the use, storage, handling, or contaminants of hazardous substances. I'm not sure that's applicable here. We discussed the groundwater being handled already. Ensure compliance with provisions of the zoning bylaw, including parking and landscaping, which we've discussed. Minimize adverse traffic impacts of the proposed project, of which there are limited, if any. And minimize the hazard of coastal flooding, taking into account long-term sea level rise. I would hope this part of town does not have to worry about sea level rise
Definitely up in
for a
elevation.
very, 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 very long time. So I think with those, I don't see any reason not to grant approval, given those conditions that we just discussed. Are there any conditions that the board might think about adding to this? Angela, I'm going to ask you this. The building commissioner is usually the one who decides the INI fee based on the bedroom count?
Right.
Okay, so we'll defer to the building
That's right.
commissioner for INI. I just,
Questions or
Krista,
comments?
I just want to make sure we note in the decision that the INI fee will be, the board defers to the
Applies, right.
building commissioner for the INI fee, but making sure that it does apply to this.
Okay.
We should have that just for all of our future site plan. I just want to make sure that language is consistent.
Okay.
Are there any other comments from staff?
Not at this time.
Fire?
Okay.
Nobody?
I would imagine you'd want to make sure you have, sprinklers. I don't know about sprinklers, but since it's a ADU, but, smoke alarms and all that sort of thing, I'm sure,
Yeah.
fire can access it pretty easily, so I don't think that's an issue.
Yeah.
I would just ask that during construction and staging, you respect the, construction hours, which the building commissioner will tell you, weekdays, I think they, no earlier than whatever it is, I don't know what it is now.
7 a.m. to 4.
And also that you stage any materials, or everything that you can, on the property and not sort of, which you would anyway, just because you're gonna wanna get your, trucks and cars off the street.
Right. Any other conditions the board might seek?
I don't have any.
Okay. I would entertain a motion for granting a site plan special permit to 55 Manson Street for petition. I'm sorry, 15. Mixing up agenda. Petition
back again.
2519 for 15 Manson Street.
That's all right, somebody's already made that mistake. The surveyor's already made that mistake once.
Are there any motions?
I'll make a motion to grant a site plan special permit for the ADU construction at 15 Manson Street.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, we'll do a roll call since we're online. All those in favor, Angela Ippolito,
Aye.
Bill Quinn,
Aye.
Jared Jerma.
Aye.
Ted Dooley, aye. Congratulations, we'll get a decision off.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Get your decision. Thank you.
Oh, yes.
All right. Chris, I see you have a lovely presentation for us.
Yes, I'll pull that up.
And I think it is really informative to have seen the lot size calculations throughout town. That was really interesting. If for nothing else, it was just something I would have loved to have, it's great to see.
Okay.
Page on that PowerPoint. Just really,
That's really interesting.
it kind of goes counter, in some ways, it's exactly what you'd think, and in other ways, it's not, not at all.
Bye-bye, have a good night.
Aye.
Okay, so I'll go through a little bit just what I've been able to put together since the last time we met. Haven't been able to do everything I wanted to, but just wanted to go through here with a little bit about the lot size analysis that we've been able to put together so far, but also just discussion of potential bylaw changes. At our meeting on the 15th, it was decided during discussion with the board that the expanded multifamily use zoning and updating the sign bylaws were the priority zoning bylaw changes to pursue in 2026. Something to note that MAPC has some technical assistance programs that my office plans on applying for funding for. Just wanted to throw that information in front of you guys. We can apply for assistance for both of these categories, or either, depending on what you would prefer from discussions today. And anything not chosen in this December review we could potentially submit for other types of funding come the new year that would be available. So I had discussed with Marzi, and the plan is to submit for funding to see if we're able to receive assistance from these programs available.
Great.
That's great. This map is terrific.
Are you on the interactive map?
Yes.
Yeah, I will pull that up in a minute. This.
Sorry.
Oh, no, I'm glad you're taking a look at it. Thank you. So this is kind of an in-progress table that I put together just to show what we require, what a typical minimum might look like for a certain type of zoning, and the comparisons here. So as you can see, our A1 is the larger lot zoning, so that's 30,000 square foot minimum, 125 foot road frontage minimum. The A2 is 20,000 square foot minimum, 100 feet of road frontage. Both of those are single family zoning. They don't allow for multifamily. And then looking at two family and up, A3 and A4 have the minimum lot size of 10,000 square feet. And we can kind of go through and take a look at the map and compare with what actually exists in Swampscott today. So this is just a screenshot of the interactive map. I sent the link to all of you. And as you can see, obviously, it looks darker because 80,000 square feet plus lots take up a lot of the area in town. However, when you break it down by parcel, it looks a little bit different. So I put together some summary statistics on just number of parcels, but also percent of total town area that these classifications of lots take up. And this is like kind of a crazy graphic overlaying just the zoning districts on top of this existing map.
Angela, I have a question
Yeah, I
for
can
you.
get, yes.
The A4 up by the Marblehead line on the beach there, that little tiny like pocket of A4, what
Yeah.
was that? Is that where those townhouses are? Is that?
Yeah, I can pull it, I'll pull up.
It's where the hotel used to be.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah, it has to be where those townhouses are. I don't remember it being an A4, to be honest with you.
I will pull it up in a minute.
Yeah.
If there's anything else,
Can I
you find
ask
it.
just a silly question?
Yeah.
So basically, we have so many non-conforming lots.
I think,
Like,
Oh, most of the town
Yeah,
is.
vast
not-
majority.
And this
Yeah.
is kind of an illustration, and we can dig deeper in whichever way you want to go after being presented this information. I put the basic lot size analysis together, and if we want to dig into how many exactly, non-conforming lots we have, that's something absolutely we can do. I think that would be a really valuable exercise. But any direction we want to go based off of this information is definitely
I think since I've been on the
something we can
board,
dig into.
in the 5 years coming up, I think I've seen maybe a couple of conforming lot size applications, and that's like a couple.
Yeah,
I can-
true.
I can think of one, and I'm sure there's another one.
So taking a look at this graph, it's basically just the breakdown of percent of total land in the town taken up by these different lot sizes, so it makes sense that the 80,000 plus lots take up a decent amount of the percentage of the total town area, and that's why the map looks pretty dark when we're looking at it. But it was an interesting breakdown to see the different sizes.
You know what I'd love to look at is, I'd love to look at municipally owned land,
Yeah.
whether it's, open space or whether it's, municipal buildings, schools, whatever. I'd love to see that. It's also, what's interesting is it shows the lots that, like, for example, on Puritan, right along the beach, those, the little lots that are sitting literally on Fisherman's Beach, like some of them are just over the sand. And what it shows is that the property line goes to the low tide mark. So I'd like to look at how much land is underwater that we're counting as buildable land. And this is like all detail stuff, but this is so interesting to me that there's like so many things I want to look at.
These are the types of specific comments we need in order to make these numbers, what we want to see. So,
Well, that's why some of those little tiny lots look huge. It's because it's going up to the low tide marker.
Which is strange, because some of the lots in Swampscott go to the mean high water, and some of them go to, like, my deed has one of those, and it goes to mean low water.
Right.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I think it's based on when it was
It's
written.
weird, and it's like this thing from like, 1700 or something,
Right.
some crazy thing they put in place because, what other crazy person besides a fisherman would live right on the edge of the water? I mean, nobody else wanted to be there.
Right.
And so they were allowed to build a pier off their house into the water, and because they could build something on it, they were granted, rights to that land, which, sounds absurd to all of us today. Like, the beaches are public and you don't own the water and you don't own the ocean and the sand underneath it. But that's just how that law pans out now, and, try repealing it. So, anyway, we're one of a lot of communities that have, I think, along, the Northeast that have it. In any event, the other stuff that's really interesting is how much of the land that's open space. There are lots that are not built on. How much of that is private and actually buildable?
Okay.
Which I think is maybe like, I think it's, I don't know, I'm going to say it's like 2%. That's not either wetland or, protected in some way or park or just available land. I think, it's incredible how little there is.
Right, yeah, and that's something that we can do. We can eliminate wetlands, we can do it by ownership, and anything has conservation restrictions, we could take out. Anything along those lines, we could definitely do an analysis for buildability or just privately owned land.
And I a lot of the reasons we really need to know this is really safe harbor stuff. When it comes to more multifamily housing, and I don't mean to say that I'm against multifamily, that's not where I'm going. Where I'm going is because I think the infill housing and the stuff we've talked about is the only way to really be successful at more of this, like, aside from Venice Square and stuff that's obvious. But I think that, when we're looking at the few scraps of land that are left, that we have to be really thoughtful about how things get permitted and to not make ourselves vulnerable to a project that isn't something that we want. So, and I already believe we qualify for that in doing all the work on the zoning for the 3A, the MBTA communities. The Department of Housing and Community Development, or whatever, livable communities, whatever they call themselves now, they actually had to bring all the numbers up to date so that we could get exact, they could do their calculations of, how much, what they wanted us to build and blah, blah, blah. In any event, I think that we are so built out that, obviously we had to zone over land that's already, built upon. But I think it's really, I think DHC does have that information, but they don't have the details that they would need. For example, conservation land, wetlands.
Yeah.
Municipal properties are exempt, anything underwater is exempt, including not just on the ocean, but wetlands. So,
Yeah.
it's just stuff like that that we would know best.
Yeah.
So if we can find ways to manipulate these maps to get, not manipulate, but to pull out the programming details that you need to,
Yeah.
the search details that you need, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that that's a really good point, and a good feedback for what this map could become and what we could look like, what it could look like. It's exciting. We just got GIS to be able to put something like this together, but it really can evolve with your feedback into the types of things that we're looking to know in order to make decisions. So, more than just parcel sizes, we can do exercises like this for all sorts of things that we're looking to do in town for planning purposes. One interesting thing I wanted to note on this graph here is that, the majority of parcels in town are under 10,000 square feet, like the majority.
Well under.
Yeah, so it's, something to note, because we don't even have, the minimums are much higher than that for most zoning districts, so that's just something to consider.
So 57% of the town
Yeah.
pretty much is non-conforming from a minimum lot size.
Yeah.
So I guess what would we do? Like, what's the problem? Would we change the minimum requirement? Is that the goal, or?
I mean,
Why-
it's to spark discussion. The goal of this is to spark discussion on,
Yeah.
Land use.
what do we want to do with this information?
Well, I think that, I'm sorry.
Angela, you were on the board when, and Bill, you might have been too, when they rewrote the zoning bylaws, like 15 years ago?
And then 2009.
What was
Yeah,
the,
I had just joined then.
do you recall what was the minimum lot size before then, and what was it
Well,
just
it was
20,000
the same.
sounded right? Or what was
Yeah,
the
it
logic?
was the same. So that was, it's when zoning was adopted, like way back. Yeah, I don't think we changed minimum lot sizes. We changed stuff like setbacks, and there were just a bunch of other rules, like processes and rules that were changed. Some of the zoning changes were good because it controlled some of the site plan specific things that could be altered, the kinds of changes people could make, and height, and this and that. And then that whole piece about, two buildings on the same lot have to be at least 40 feet apart, that came up then. And I could go through it and give you a list of stuff. Some of it I thought was really, didn't make any sense to me then, and some of it still doesn't. But this piece, the town knew when it adopted zoning officially, whenever, way back, that they were adopting a form that, I guess, whatever was recommended by the state or what was happening in cities and towns all around. And, it was clear that there were multiple people that, they were going to have grandfathered lots that wanted to be able to maintain their full property rights. And so it was kind of understood that there'd be this grandfathering of lots. I don't think that it was ever anticipated that people would want to expand homes on lots that size as much as they have wanted to, but that's another issue. But a lot of people at that time owned lots that were well under 10,000 square feet, like they own a 5,000 square foot lot or 8,000 square foot lot, and they want to maintain their rights and their ability to develop that lot someday. And so there was, it's not in our bylaw, but I think there was some kind of a state law that allowed them for a certain number of years, if they applied by X date, whatever it was, then there was a certain number of years they had to either sell that property and let someone else develop it, or do something on it themselves before it became, an unbuildable lot. And a good example of that is that building that's on Humphrey Street. It's like a two-family. It's really nice, beautiful colonial-looking home. It's brand new, sort of. It was just finished a year or two ago. It's across from from the, not the, yeah, the fish, from Fisherman's Beach, from there, but,
Oh,
closer down towards the, what's that restaurant
Next to the
called?
dental
next to the
office.
dentist, yeah.
Yes, thank you, next to the dentist, yes. So, that one across, that was, an undersized lot that, they had applied for years and years ago, from my understanding, and that they finally decided to build on. So I think that's kind of how that went. And since then, I mean, people either, combined lots, or they sold those off and they were built on, which is why there was, I think at that time, such a boom in building.
Interesting.
Krista, I have a quick question. In the B3 and the B4, all of the brown lines in there, are those lot lines? On,
Sorry, let me pull
yeah,
this back up.
sorry.
Those are streets, right?
Well, look where they are though,
The driving,
because this is,
Yeah, I see what you mean.
it literally looks, it looks like the parking stalls almost, the top of B4, all those little
Yeah.
parallel lines.
Is that the cemetery, maybe?
No,
well,
it's
no, the cemetery is
Swampscott
right
Mall.
where it says B4.
Yeah, so we can
And then
figure
if
this
you,
out. So this is,
oh,
this
no,
is
no,
Vinton
no,
Square.
B4 is where Vinton Square is,
Right.
yeah.
And
So
top and
what,
top, yeah.
yeah, what are,
Those are drive aisles. This
Yes,
is just
yeah.
the base map that's being shown.
sorry, they're drive aisles? Oh,
In
oh,
the parking lot.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
So-
parking lot.
Okay, I got it.
Yep.
And then you go up here, and then those, like if you go up, further up towards Loring, the far left is a cemetery. Okay,
Yep, so
okay,
these are
that's
like
making sense then.
drives, and it's just because of the base map that I chose for this.
Yep, no, that's perfect.
why
I was
chose
just
that.
trying to decipher
Yeah.
it, because I was like, what are these?
I thought the same thing. I was like, what? And then I realized, this it was the cemetery. But yes, this is just how parking lot is displaying over,
Oh, right, that's all making sense then.
because I pulled the labels on top.
So it's, I have to say that I'm gonna use the word comforting, but I find comfort in the fact that we have density where there's density, we have open space where it's public, or the larger open space that's private is almost all being utilized.
Oh, that's what I'm kind of getting at when I talk about safe harbor. There's damn little that's not either, if it's privately owned and it's, kind of an empty lot, they're either gonna develop it or someone's after it to buy to join with another lot to develop. So there's just very little, and of course, those areas are in very congested neighborhoods. Off Essex Street in particular, there's a couple of chunks of property like that. So, and that can happen. I mean, people can, build 8 or 10 condos, whatever that stuff can get permitted. I'm talking about 40Bs. I'm talking about like a hostile development.
Yeah. Well,
That's what I'm talking about.
I wanted to jump back to the typical lot size page. Now, the cottage cluster, 4 to 8. How many, I know that one of the questions we were asking with this is, are there locations that are logical for us exploring this? And if so, how many? Because this is looking like, it's looking like quite the high end of our square footages.
Yeah.
To spend time coming up with a zoning suggestion. I just am curious
Right.
what we do with that. If
Right.
it's a cool idea, but it's not, once we look at the reality of our
Where are you
map,
gonna put it? Right.
where are we going to put it? Yeah.
Right.
And then between the schools take up, there's municipal land, so town hall, Olmsted, the Hadley, for example. Then you've got the high school, Clark School, the middle school, and Stanley. I mean, those are the biggest chunks of land. Obviously, the Tedesco is a whole other issue. It's private property, and there's, there's nothing we can do about that. Other than that, when you're looking at, Arthur Street, those properties up there, those have been designated as conservation land. So that, nothing's gonna happen there. Then you've got the quarry, which is the, industrial zone, cemetery, obviously. So it's few and far between.
So I think it's an interesting proposal, but.
Where are you gonna put it?
Right, exactly.
Right. And I know in our earlier conversation, or at least when we met in September, we had talked about that a little bit and then decided that the conversions to multifamily might be something to focus on more than cottage cluster, due to many reasons and having to prioritize different zoning bylaw changes. But it is definitely interesting to see what's there, and we can continue to refine this to really show whatever you want. I wanted this to be an exercise to show you all what we can do and kind of go from there as to what we want to learn, and thinking of how we can use it to get more information and use it as a tool for whatever projects we want to pursue.
Yeah. So when you look at all those houses, it was interesting too, when we were working on the 3A multifamily district, I went to some event in Boston that was sponsored by, some group that was working with, affordable multifamily, blah, blah, blah. And it was me, somebody from Lexington, a couple other towns, and everybody, pulled up their maps, and I felt like I was looking at a map from 1811 or something, where there were like a couple little clusters of houses and then just roads and roads of empty land. I mean, Lexington was like so expansive, like little clusters of housing, and they're like, wringing their hands about where to put the 3A, and I was like, oh my, and when my map went last, which is, kind of what you're looking at, and when I said, well, this is gonna look really different to all of you. There's a reason why we, little towns that have railroad stations going up the East Coast are gonna have a hard time with this, because when I pulled it off, when I tell you people in the room actually gasped when they saw the density, because it was alarming comparing it to other communities. Truly, just amazing. And I'm so used to looking at it that I was more surprised by looking at other cities and towns. But it really is something. You can see why we need that inflow fee, the I-9 fee.
Sorry, I'm only sharing one window, I realized, and not the presentation, so hold on one second.
I'm surprised there's only 129 in the 0 to 2,500 range.
And I would bet
Looking at
you,
how much white there is on this map.
I would bet you the town owns 99% of those. If you go through GIS and look at municipal property that Swampscott owns, there are a lot of lots that are 200 square feet, 800 square feet, that the town owns for sewage access, energy, sites for utility
Well,
providers.
but I'm looking at areas like what's referred to as the counties.
Okay.
How many small over between the Olmsted district and the train station? How many small lots there are in there?
Yeah, and of course, that's the oldest section. It was, part of Glen, as you know, so.
Well, that's
are
actually
really old neighborhoods.
No, that's actually not as, the section I'm talking about is between Paradise Road and the railroad tracks, so the counties. That's actually new, that developed after the Olmsted district. But,
up on like Franklin and Bristol and those streets.
Berkshire, all of those,
Yeah, okay.
It's funny, I can find my lot easily, because it's the white in the forest of blue.
Put the whitest one on there.
A lot of white ones.
See these two little that are floating?
And there's the railroad beds, you can see where the rail trail is. You see where it branches off right there, so you're looking at, I can't point because you're not gonna see my finger, but that big blue area kind of smack in the middle where you see the railroad line,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. So right around there, so watch the one that branches off to the right and goes into Marblehead. It's blue now because obviously we pulled up the tracks. But
Oh,
that
here.
was the Marblehead, that's it, yep.
Yeah.
That's the Marblehead branch line right there.
Yeah.
And if you actually go up on the tracks, there are the original markers are there that say S, like granite markers, S for Swampscott and M for Marblehead. It's really cool.
Not in the location that we're looking at, 'cause that's on the screen, because that's, or, oh, it is right there, where that branch happened, huh?
Yep, right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can go through and link this with our assessor's data for like ownership information and all of that. I did,
That's a DPW lot there.
yep. And when I was putting this together, I did remove right-of-way. That's why
Oh, good.
because the parcel layer from the state comes with
Right.
like right-of-way, so I
Yeah.
removed that and excluded it, as well as the this rail right-of-way. And there were, to your earlier point, Angela, there were some parcels that extended into the water, but they were labeled
Yeah.
water parcels. And I removed all of those, which is why you can see right here, there's a gap. And then right up here for Foster Pond, there's a gap also, because those were
Right.
categorized as
Wow.
water parcels. So we can,
Yeah, exactly.
we can definitely dive in further to all of these ones
But
that
these,
are,
those are the ones I'm talking about.
yeah,
Those, yeah.
yeah.
The postage stamps that go into the water.
Yeah. Little town.
Right, but
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's fascinating. I love looking at this.
And we can refine it to make it more useful for referencing and all of that. So I can go in and identify, wetlands, conservation land, anything with deed restrictions for conservation,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think to Angela's
all
point
of
earlier,
that.
what would be informative is
town-owned land.
all of those, yeah, municipal land, basically anything non-buildable, so municipal
Right.
land, open space restriction, the country club, 'cause it's a 61B currently,
Yeah. Wetlands.
wetlands, any, were things in the, I don't recall, Angela, is anything in the velocity zone or one of the high-intensity
Yeah,
flood zones?
we have B1 properties. There's a couple on, right along Fishies by Mary Allen's house.
Right.
Where partial is, or your house too, but where the
Yep.
partial lot is in the B1 zone. But the way they've changed the zoning bylaw now, the new coastal flood area, what they're calling the flood zone, which I
Right.
didn't see updated in the bylaw, by the way. Maybe the one I was looking at was old. But I didn't see the new bylaw in there. It should be like flood hazard or floodplain, I forget what we called it.
Yeah,
That
Yep.
passed last year. Anyway, not to belabor that point. But that does not, if any part of the property's in the B1, now the whole thing has to go under B1.
right, which makes it in
So not
unbuildable.
just if it, like, yeah, exactly.
So you could probably pull that from like the FEMA map?
Yeah.
And then take anything in a velocity zone out?
Yes, and we did update,
That's a smart way to look at it.
the zoning bylaw with the red line copy, so we actually have extras if you want a new copy,
Thank you.
any of
You
you.
know what, I was probably looking at an old one, I don't know which one I pulled up, I just pulled it offline and I thought, where the hell is that flood? So it was probably my fault, but thank you.
No, but I think that would be helpful to Angela's point, just for
Yeah,
ours and other land use boards' awareness.
yes. Yeah, and this can be an interactive map that we use as a tool during meetings, things like that, that shows what is important to reference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for putting this together.
Yeah,
Thank you, that's great
I'm
work
sorry,
and very exciting.
Are you
So-
still in the interactive part?
sorry, what?
Are you in the interactive part?
I can go back, yes,
Just
hold on.
out of curiosity, if we take a look at the lot we were looking at the last petition,
Oh,
just to see what help it would provide us compared to Google Earth.
Manton Road.
Where is it?
Manson Street.
Manson Street.
God, it's so.
Not Manson Avenue. Not
No, but that's the actual property, isn't it?
This is the property.
Right.
Oh, and it's labeled Manson
Yeah.
Avenue.
It's labeled
Oh
Manson
my
Avenue.
God.
And I actually think that the southern part of it is Village Street in Lynn.
So this
Right,
is the
that's what-
Esri, like, ARC map, base map. We can choose different base maps. This is just the one
No-
with the
no worries.
imagery that I
think that's
selected.
Probably why there was confusion.
Yeah, this
Well,
is
we were
not,
calling it Manson Road.
Yes.
yeah, the fact that it's Ave,
Not
when we
Manson
had the
Street,
problem
not
with our
Manson
assessor
Ave.
had it as road, they had it as street. So now, yeah, this source has it as Ave, which
So
is
that lot on the corner there is the one we were looking at.
this one right here.
Yeah, yeah. And it looks like it spreads over to the neighbor's property, but maybe they're just combined, yeah, there you go.
Oh, there it
So the
is. This-
parcel lines are a little, there's like a 5 to 15-foot disclaimer on how they show up with
Okay.
imagery, especially because this base map isn't ours. It's like a national one that Esri provides. It's not necessarily the parcel lines that are off, it's the underlying imagery that might be a little bit off, depending on where we're pulling it from, so. Yeah, it might be, it's like a little skewed.
Oh, but that actually does a pretty good job of delineating what we had to do.
Yeah, it does, actually.
But we were just trying to
Yeah.
describe
Yeah,
out.
that's a confusing situation.
It is.
I was glad that he was here to be able to tell that the neighbors got together
Yeah,
and paved.
Eric's not the only one.
So you can turn layers transparent. This is like
Oh.
available
Oh,
to
that's
all of
cool.
you. So if you want,
That shows
To-
ghosts that live in the house. There's something sort of like you
It's like
gotta-
night vision.
This is, I mean, I love fiddling around with GIS, and this is like thrilling to me.
yeah, and any ideas
Wow.
that you come up with, we're excited about
Okay.
it. So
Yeah, I'll make notes on this stuff I've already, unless you did, stuff I already mentioned.
yeah, I did take notes, but if you have
Okay.
them ready and prepared,
Sure.
that's helpful also.
Yeah, okay.
Then I had one last just like overall slide, that was basically just additional next steps. These are things that I said I was going to do at our earlier meeting, in September. So, compiling best practices and sample zoning for single-family conversions. This is on the list.
Yep,
Um,
great.
you know, imagery and examples of successful conversions, as well as getting some information from building and fire on considerations for that as well. So, hasn't been forgotten.
All good.
It's been really busy, but I wanted to at least show you
Yeah.
that we were able to do some of what we talked about in that meeting, because we did talk about this parcel size analysis in town.
Great.
That's great.
So I would take a different side of the coin as my dear colleague Jer here. To me, that reads as 1 in 5 parcels in Swampscott could potentially meet that 15,000 or higher square footage count for cottage cluster. I'm not suggesting we dive into it, but it was in our housing production plan that we look into that we adopted last year. So I would suggest, and again, I defer to the board and your office thinks, that we throw that in for a TAP grant and see.
Okay.
I mean, we haven't had one of those grants, or similar grant for housing production and kind of zoning changes, I don't know, in some time. So I think it's worth throwing as many rings in
many
the
options.
fire as we can and see what we get, and they'll help us figure out if it's worth it, if it's not worth it, if it's good or bad, which is kind of over my technical skill set. They'll also help us with engagement and that sort of thing, so
So-
whatever help they give us, I think is helpful. whatever their
The one thing
feedback
that
is.
I think I would hope for, because of the type of impact that that kind of design, before putting something like that through, I think we need to have much more advanced design review
Cool,
than we
totally.
currently have.
Right.
Because I'm really thrown by what comes at us, quality of what comes at
Yeah.
us. And it's, I think it speaks to a lack of design review
Yep.
in this town, and it sort of lands on us to.
On the fly.
On the fly, but it's also a difficult place to review from. Because it's somehow getting folded into
Well, you just
site.
What you just had to
review.
do with like drawing things and all that sort of stuff, which you had to do, doesn't translate well to doing in a meeting.
Well, but the other part of that is that isn't doing anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Like me sketching it to understand it and me saying this, it would have been such gymnastics to move that into the conditions.
Yeah,
But, you know.
that would have
the-
been a
the
disaster
type-
of motion.
The type of review that this kind of cluster housing would need to go to minimize really negative impact on adjacent properties. We can barely keep it up on small individual
Yeah.
buildings. And, you know, there's one coming I'm really concerned about.
And I just want to be clear, I'm not suggesting we dive forward with it. I'm just saying if we get a grant and they come back and say, here's a way to make it work, here's why you shouldn't make it work, whatever, they're the experts.
But, but I just
agree
think.
with you.
I think before we come forward with anything like that, I do feel we don't have the toolkit
Yep,
to manage that kind of development in a way that wouldn't be detrimental to our community.
well, that's something I would hope that these folks can help us with and that other grants, because a lot of the areas that have that zoning have incredibly strict design guidelines
Yeah.
for the applications. They have, for lack of a better term, they have form-based code for that with
Yeah.
requirements for aesthetics that we don't have.
Yeah.
That if any town, especially Swampscott, were to pursue something like that, I would imagine that would be a requirement, should be a requirement, to have really strict
Yeah.
aesthetic guidelines.
Right.
And I think we are the
No,
scale town it would make sense in.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think where we're gonna run into problems is, this is just my opinion, is where we go with everything is that we don't have the space to put something where, you know, something that could, for example, where you could implement a form-based code, even on a, you know, very small project, where there's room for it and where it could actually be done in a way that is profitable for the builder and, you know, isn't, you know, outrageous for the buyer. So I guess that's where I get caught up in these things is, you know, well, what we hear, and I'm not, you know, I'm not in the building trade, so, you know, I'm just telling you what, you know, and you guys know already what we hear, is that in order for an affordable housing, any kind of project, for someone to be able to create multifamily units and have it be, you know, financially feasible, is that we need to have these, you know, vast numbers of apartments. And I just, you know, that's the kind of thing I just don't think we can support much more of that.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
And that's at least the thought process I went down when I tried to look at this was, how do we find a way to do the multifamily housing thing that we have in our production plan, but without putting ourselves in a corner where we're looking at 20-unit plus buildings as our only form of multifamily. 2-unit or 20-unit plus as the only form. So
Right.
MAPC and whoever they have work with towns if they get grants, I'm sure they've done this before. So
Yeah.
they'd be able to help.
And one thing about
Whatever
the
we do.
TAP program is if other towns in the area are interested in the same types of updates, they can do a cohort model, which makes it more likely that we would receive funding, but we would kind of be going down that road with other towns who have similar goals. So that's just another way that they can assist more towns at the same time. So that is very interesting. Another thing to note is I do think it's important to at least do the due diligence with some sort of parcel size analysis before embarking down any road, just because in my previous role, I worked on zoning audits, and sometimes you would just hear from towns, we passed this bylaw and we've never been able to use it because there's no real life scenario where it would actually happen. And that's a lot of work to do for something that sounds very exciting and new, and there's no actual, scenarios where it could occur in
Right,
town.
it's
So,
impractical.
And that's,
Yeah.
We've done,
that's where my concern is on this.
but that's something that we've done in Swampscott a lot.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but we've done zoning stuff where stuff doesn't happen for a while. So
right,
it becomes practical or it's not, but
right.
that's where
So,
I would hope, and I've read some of the reports MAPC has done on this, they give insight into, here's the barriers you're gonna come up with for implementation. And that leads to a broader, more informed conversation.
yeah,
But I think it's worth at least throwing a grant application in and seeing what technical expertise they could
Oh,
provide.
yep. Can't hurt.
Yeah. And I can't imagine any of these would be ready for a town meeting this year.
I think if we receive technical assistance, it would be a much longer
I agree.
process. And
It
I do
should be.
think that we would be doing ourselves a disservice if we weren't adequately prepared when we brought something before town meeting.
I agree.
But that's not to say it's not something we can be working on right now,
Yeah.
so.
Agreed. I think my point in saying that was I am not under the illusion that, in the next 3 months, we're gonna snap our fingers and have some perfect thing for town meeting, or something at all for town meeting.
Yeah, if it turns out we can identify, some no-brainer, easy amendments that we think make sense, that could be something
Yeah.
that we could pursue.
Is a minimum
This
lot
spring.
size change something? I mean, looking at this data, it doesn't make, to me, doesn't make sense that we, based on the minimum lot size we have, are having 64% at a minimum of our lots in town be pre-existing non-conforming, because we're just creating an artificial barrier.
Well, those aren't empty lots, Ted, they're all built on. And,
Right.
what they don't have are the setbacks that are required. I mean, a lot of these tiny lots just have houses that are built right out to right out to the property line practically. So, I mean,
Right.
it was done because of what the land that was available, of, so-and-so owned the land, and their uncle built a house next to them, and that became a separate lot, it was, whatever, I'm not, not I don't have a crystal ball on every single thing, but you can see, based on when buildings were built, that, a lot of post-war stuff, right? Those were, or you're going way back to the turn of the century, like, late 1800s. And that was, parts of Swampscott that were, they just cut some of the oldest parts of town, basically, where people just, they had a little scrap of land and they stuck their house on it.
Right.
So, it's not like we have a whole bunch of undersized lots empty sitting around.
Completely agreed. I
But
think
it
it was,
would be interesting to know what percentage are undeveloped. Certainly know what percentage, because when we look at these counts of how many lots that we have over, total area is 20 to 40,000 square feet. We have 392, but I want to know once we take condominiums out of that, or we take all of the developed
Yeah.
land out of that, what that leaves us with, from this 15,000 to 20,000 all the way down to 80,000 plus. How many buildable lots is that, and how many privately owned lots is that
Yeah.
in that range? That's where I think the story will be told, because that is supposedly the range we're looking for. That 15 plus
Yeah,
range is the range we're looking for the cottage clusters to function on, so. it makes sense to really know how many we have in there to
Yeah.
continue the conversation.
I think, similar to the analysis that was done for 3A, we need to know, where the wetlands are, what the ownership is, and that's definitely something that I can dive into.
Yeah.
I was more asking, is that something we should look at? Is that something worth thinking about? Is that minimum lot size, the 20,000 plus, serving us well, and is it the right thing? I don't have an answer to that. I don't have a
When you
condition.
say the 20,000, for A1?
Our minimum lot size regardless, 20,000, A1 is 30,000, A2 is
30,000.
20,000, 3 and 4 is 10,000. And when you look at the average lot sizes, or the lot sizes in town, we have so many that are not conforming. I understand they're all built upon,
When you
many of them
look at
are.
these lot frontages, my assumption is these numbers are pulled out of a Midwestern planning guide from 1954.
Yeah, they're-
Where you're dealing with a mile square grid. I actually grew up a place where your lot line, your road frontages were 125 feet. 125 feet here as a minimum lot
Yeah.
frontage?
It's 3 lots.
That's 3 lots, exactly. It is a case where, I'll also say, when it comes to our setbacks, our frontages, everything, us having these standards to work against, I don't think there's a way to set standards here.
Yeah.
With the topography and with the existing lots, a lot of our stuff, when it comes to setbacks, should relate to adjacent properties. It's really establishing, if you're not breaking up the rhythm of a street, not, really having a very intentional look at things, not trying to do this with a tape measure, but actually looking at what the impact of it, because very often you take this sort of modern impact and you end up sawtoothing a street
Yeah.
if there's buildable lots. I know we don't have many, but, it creates some difficulties. And the same thing with setbacks when it comes to, the standard setbacks everywhere doesn't lead to the best design. There's very interesting spaces where outbuildings are much closer to the rear and the side lot to allow for better spaces, because all we're doing when you increase the distance to the rear and the side lot and it's a freestanding structure, you're creating dead zones
Yeah.
that accumulate waste and so forth, instead of livable large spaces. So I think the intent of a lot of this is good, but I think the outcome from a lot of it is actually not good for our communities, because it messes up with the rhythm of the structures.
Yeah.
And we are working within a pretty historic context, so
Right.
all of a sudden putting different policies over it doesn't make sense. More review.
When you look at this and you see the percentages, it just begs the question, is this serving us the right, is this the best way we should be doing it, and is it serving us the right way? I don't know the answer to that, I haven't thought about it enough, but
I can give
I
you
wanted
one-
to ask the question.
I can give you one response on that as someone that has one of these lots that's under 2,500 square feet. The fact that it's non-conforming allows there to be a judgment. And that's actually helpful.
Yep, the
because
finding.
if we start playing with that number, then houses become conforming, but they can't meet the setbacks, or they can't,
Yeah.
it is a tricky thing. So sometimes, maybe as they made these policies, they were recognizing it, well, that just needs to go in front of a board, and decisions can be made, and arguments can be made, and so on, so that maybe it gives us more flexibility by having more of our odd little lots out of compliance.
Yeah,
So there can be a decision instead of it's just not meeting it.
begs the question.
Yep, I don't know. I know I've been advised, because of the oddity of my lot, that it is likely I could get some things approved that don't make any sense, like, don't make any sense for what the actual rules are when you see it.
Right,
because
you
I
just
have
need
no
the-
street frontage.
You just
I never-
need the finding that it's not substantially more detrimental,
Right.
rather than a variance finding.
I'm not allowed to exist
Right.
right of way, yeah,
Well,
but not public.
thank you for compiling this, Krista.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
any of you have any more thoughts or comments or ideas, please let me know. We're very excited to have GIS. I can make any type of web map
Yeah.
that you think
Believe
of.
it.
So, yeah, whatever ideas you have that can help us
Great.
with planning in town. You know, we can make it interactive. We can use it as a tool. Whatever you think that we need to do, we can do all
Great.
types of analysis. So it's very exciting.
Yeah, I'll put my list together and.
Great.
Send it to you. Thank you.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned it earlier, but I did put together the draft 2026
Oh, yeah.
board meeting submittal schedule. I know we might want to wait until
Yeah.
Joe is here to actually adopt it, but please take a look at it, and if you have any conflicts or thoughts on
Right.
these dates, please bring them to the next meeting so that we can hopefully pass this
Yeah, I think
at
that's.
the
that's-
next meeting, yeah.
That's right, and if you could circulate this by email after the meeting,
Yeah, yep.
perfect, just I want to make sure Joe has a chance to look at this as well, but.
Yeah,
Oh, did you? Perfect.
I
Perfect.
added it with the agenda, I think.
Okay, great.
But I'll
Very good.
send it
Thank
again.
you.
Thank you.
So this is the standard second Monday of the month,
Yes,
yeah, and except for October.
Right.
yep. And that was just my suggested day.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be that day if you all agree on a different day to change it to.
I would think we can adopt this and then extenuating circumstances if something comes up where we obviously have multiple conflicts and won't meet a quorum, whatever, with enough notice,
Yep.
we're able to make a decision on the fly, but it's better for Krista to be equipped to give applicants hard deadlines,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well, I think
also,
it's
and for
good
us to map ourselves.
it's also for reserving the rooms in
Yeah.
advance. It's extremely
call.
helpful. Because
Yeah.
I know sometimes,
We're all happy to be in
Yeah.
B129.
Yes.
We're
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
happy to be here.
so this way we'll make sure, like, at the beginning of the year, we have
Perfect.
all of the dates reserved.
We are quite fortunate holiday-wise on
Yeah.
that. That there's
It's a
only
surprise.
one Monday, yeah,
Yeah.
the second Monday.
Yeah.
Maybe that just doesn't land as severely.
Any other business not reasonably foreseen?
Just take a look at the minutes for next time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I will email those to you, Angela. I printed them out, but
Okay,
I'll send you a
thanks.
copy.
Thank you.
Any motions to adjourn? There we
To
go.
adjourn, so moved.
All right, second.
Me, second.
I'm just, okay. All those in favor, Angela Ippolito,
Aye.
uh,
Aye.
Bill Quinn,
Aye.
Joe Germa,
Aye.
Ted Dooley, aye. All right, thank you. Thanks,
Thanks,
Angela.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
you.
Bye.
Bye.